Tired of dealing with annoying flies, fruit flies, and gnats in your home? The Zevo Flying Insect Trap is your ultimate solution. Don't wait. Check out the link in the video description now to get your Zevo Flying Insect Trap on Amazon and enjoy a bug-free home today.
Good Morning Britain fans were left disgusted after the ITV breakfast show dedicated a whole segment to a toilet debate. Throughout the show, hosts Ed Balls and Kate Garraway asked their guests and members of the public whether they would take a work call while on the toilet. While Ed himself thought it was a disgusting practice, Kate didn't see anything wrong with the act and instead described it as a productive use of time. However, fans branded the whole debate gross and pathetic as they took to Twitter to share their disgruntled opinions. Last week, Good Morning Britain came out on top in the Best News Programme category at the National Reality Television Awards, beating BBC Breakfast, BBC News at 10, Channel 4 News and several others. And viewers questioned how they had achieved the accolade as they wrote. They said they won an award for Best News Programme and here we are debating work calls on the loo. Who were they up against? The Teletubbies, Peppa Pig and Jackanory. Others exclaimed, these two should have a better subject to debate. If you're spending more than couple of minutes on toilet, you need more fiber in your diet. Imagine having so little work that you have to come on TV and debate s like this pathetic. Yeah. It's gross. I mean, how long are these people on the toilet for, taking a work call on the loo talking t, just when you thought hashtag ITV and hashtag GMB couldn't stoop any lower, it's gonna be talking toilets. It should hold the government to account, but the obnoxious Ed Balls interviews his equally dreadful and ineffectual wife, the morning after the worst demonstration of dissatisfaction of the UK. Another joked, I'm watching them debate the morality of doing an online meeting whilst on the loo, whilst I'm sat on the loo. Great start to the day. Even Christine Lampard was asked her opinion on the debate as the presenters checked in with her ahead of Lorraine. And Christine also thought there was nothing wrong with answering a call on the toilet, as she joked, I'd pick up the phone on the toilet but I wouldn't pee in the pool. And it's not the first time this week GMB viewers have been left unimpressed after they branded to the show embarrassing to the extreme after Ed interviewed his wife Yvette Cooper in a huge conflict of interests on Monday's episode. Ed interviewed Home Secretary Yvette alongside Kate, who made her triumphant return to GMB following her father's illness. Yvette was on the breakfast program to discuss whether the police's response to the nationwide riots had been sufficient. Ed and Kate questioned Yvette on the government's refusal to label the riots Islamophobic, as posed earlier in the program by Zara Sultana. Yvette began, what we've seen on the streets of some cities and towns over the weekend frankly is criminal violence and thuggery. That is what it is first and foremost, and that's why it needs the full force of the law behind it. She added, we have certainly seen some targeted attacks on mosques, and that clearly reflects Islamophobia. Largely ignoring the content of the interview, GMB viewers took exception to the decision to put Ed in such a compromising position on X, formerly Twitter. They wrote, does Ed GMB realize just how utterly ridiculous it looks by continuing to invite Ed Balls on as a presenter whilst he defends the actions of the Home Secretary Yvette Cooper, his wife? Home Secretary Yvette Cooper is asked why the government hasn't used the term Islamophobic. In her answer, Cooper, finally, uses the word. As for husband interviewing wife, how does hashtag GMB think this is tenable? Ed, who's just treated at Zara Sultana with contempt for suggesting MSM plays its part in whipping up hate, is about to interview his wife in an obvious conflict of interests even for a 5-year-old viewer. Stick to Kerry Katona and strictly hashtag GMB. Interesting that Ed Balls doesn't interrupt his wife when interviewing, but with other guests he does every 5 minutes hashtag GMB hashtag Good Morning Britain. Ed Balls is going to interview his wife? How is this at GMB being impartial and not a huge conflict of interest, embarrassing in the extreme, and he hasn't talked to the Home Secretary about her job and the situation, really? Sick. Is it really appropriate that Ed Balls is hosting news coverage directly concerning the response to the protests of his wife and the government she is a